Simon, as of last night, it was my understanding that there was no firm, hard, fast bid in from any club for West Ham's Declan Rice. But in the last few moments, Mr. Alex Crook, who does a darn good job here at talkSPORT, tells us West Ham have now rejected an opening bid for Declan Rice. It's my understanding, Simon, that opening bid is 80 million plus 10 in add-ons.
Yep.
So you and I both know the hierarchy at West Ham want north of 100 million. Whether they'll get that or not is another matter. But the process has started, and waiting in the wings, Manchester City. So the bid comes in from Arsenal.
Yeah.
That's the opening bid. But as I say, watching it from distance, Manchester City. It's begun to swing into action.
I mean, there's two ways of doing this deal, isn't there? There's going and meeting West Ham's expectation and eclipsing the opportunity for someone else to come along and get involved and just nicking it straight out from underneath. Here's the deal. We'll do it. We'll close the deal now. And then, of course, you're in a situation with David Sullivan, who I know very well, that won't be enough, even if you meet his asking price, because he'll then say, right, well, actually, I want more because that's the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
I've got an opportunity. Or there's the other side of the argument, which is Arsenal's point of view, which is I'm going to start at 80 million quid and we'll make them work to get to a bigger price rather than land there and watch them work it up from there.
Yeah.
So 80 million pounds might mean that Arsenal are prepared to go to 90 all in and then 10 million on extras that will be tangible to Arsenal in terms of achievement and revenue against it, Champions League progression or amount of games or whatever else.
I think they've got to hit the magic 100. I think they've got to hit that.
Well, maybe they do, but I mean, I don't think they've got to do anything unless someone else comes in. If Arsenal happen to be, and I know you'll think this is probably unlikely, but if Arsenal are the only game in town at that level, then West Ham are going to have no bleeding choice, are they?
I don't think there will be, though. Do you? I don't think there will be.
Maybe.
I think there'll be.
There's only going to be a few people at the table because once you get into the £80 million price bracket, there's only going to be a few, and they're going to be
a few. Who's the Who do you think is most likely? Well, Arsenal will be there. Man City will be there.
Well, I would think possibly there might be a consideration from Manchester United. Possibly. Manchester City, again, you know, Danny Murphy was making a case for Manchester City, and seeing him in that scenario would be such a formidable outcome alongside what they've already got. But Man City aren't this Johnny Splatter cash that people think they are all the time. They will try and find a deal now, and they will not be leveraged, and they will not be used as a stalking horse so that everyone can just jack the price up for West Ham. But we'll see. If you're starting at 80 million, you would naturally assume that you're going to start moving quite significantly. I mean, I you know my view. I don't think it's past 100 million quid. But the market will drive it, won't it?
Yeah. I heard from another source last night that the Qataris feel that they are closer than they've ever been to actually getting their hands on Manchester United. So you have to think, Simon, as you know, the new fixture, the first day fixtures have come out this morning. Yep. Everybody thinks, good God, it's not that actually far away. It really isn't, the new season. So one wonders if we're going to get an announcement on that fairly soon. What we do know, Simon, is in spite of them saying last Friday night, if our bid isn't accepted, then it would be time up. We'll walk away. They haven't. No, they're still there.
Well, they didn't say they would walk away. What they said is they wouldn't get involved in any more bids. What they would do is they would leave it on the table, and they'd walk away from getting involved in further discussions about raising the bar and keeping on being put in a situation. Well, look, there are two parts of this. The way that a deal gets done is there's a balance of power. The seller has the power because he's the person that determines the outcome because it's his to sell. The moment you accept a bid, the buyer becomes the powerful one because you've already established the seller's already shown his cards. I've accepted it now, I'm ready to go. And the balance of power shifts. And then what happens? Then you have a due diligence process, and then the price starts to get chipped.
Yeah.
And things start to change in the deal. So this deal, I'd be surprised if this deal gets concluded any time soon. Because once you've accepted the bid, then you'll move into a different stage of all manner of delisting it at the same time as establishing all the due diligence that you need to have. Certain parts of the equation will be slightly different than you anticipated. But then again, there are deals that get done because we're talking about the people, specifically the Qataris, that may just turn around and go, we're happy with what we're buying, we know what we're buying, bang, we want it done in 28 days.
Sure.
I doubt it.
Okay. So that's our understanding this morning, that the bidding has started, not for Manchester United, of course, we've known that for a number of days, but the bidding has started for Declan Rice.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Alan Brazil. Thursday and Friday morning, 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.